Welcome back to Morning Brews, another premiere. Not long and we're going to be back to going live. But on today's show, Archie Gray, drama, Bayern game, Kane refuses to hold the trophy, possibly a new bite back, and ANGE versus Levy. Stay tuned here. Welcome back to Morning Brews premiere again. It's a bloody warm day today, but we're going to get some news for you guys. Brian, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good today. Been doing a lot of IKEA DIY work with the missus today, so that's been moving on. And now get to speak to us. So I hope everyone in the chat had a great weekend and have a wonderful week ahead.
Yeah, I second that. Right, let's get into it. Archie Gray. Now, there's been a lot of comments on X and on YouTube, and a lot of people have pretty much been slightly negative over Archie Gray, especially his game against Bayern, where he didn't have the worst game he's had for us, but he did have a lot of times where he was giving the ball away. He looked a bit unsure at times, but when he was on the ball, he passed so many players. His feet was fantastic. It was that second phase after he's done that great skill, passing players and all that second phase, he kind of gave the ball away or he didn't know what to do, which for me personally, that's kind of shows the amateur side of him, his naivety of being so young and everything. What do you make of obviously the negative feelings around certain fans towards him, and do you think they're warranted?
Okay, so let's break this down a bit. So first of all, I put a tweet out during the game. You and me were watching it together, and I put a tweet out saying there's no doubt in my mind that against Leicester, Archie Gray and Lucas Bergwall have to start. Obviously, like you said, there's been a lot of reactions to this, not to my tweet, but to whether he's been good in midfield, whether he had a good performance on Saturday. I think he did well when he comes on. Yes, he misplaced some passes. He's an 18-year-old kid. But he's on the ball. He also did some very good things. The reason I'm saying I think he has to start, he played better in centre-back and right-back than he has in the two trips in midfield. But for me, we have been so poor in midfield with our first teamers from last season. They have been poor. It's been a very poor season for last year's main midfielders. Obviously, Bentancur came on and only had his first few minutes, and I think he did well. Archie, I've been talking today to people as well. I would start Archie, and the reason I would start Archie as well is this game on Monday, or a week today, should we say, is at Leicester, where he played twice last season against them in the Championship. It's not Liverpool away. It's not Liverpool at home or one of the big teams. It's a team he knows. So yes, it's a Premier League and it's a bigger league and more competitive, obviously, than the Championship. But it's a ground he's familiar in. And Bissouma, I think he's done more than Bissouma in pre-season to start. He's certainly done more than Sarr. So in those 6 and 8 kind of positions that you're looking at, apart from Bentancur, I would start Archie Gray over Bissouma and over Sarr at the moment. That's not because I think he's going to be a great player, but I think them two have been so bad. People are saying Archie Gray's been bad. He's not been as bad as Bissouma and Sarr, that's for damn sure. In fact, I think he's done very well. But I can see, it's not ruling out, like I saw Sava say, he gave the ball away 8 times. But he determined in the tackle. He wanted to make up for his errors and track back. But yeah, there are errors he needs to work on. But I am saying I still stand by starting him against Leicester.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. I think he's still young. Obviously, we're kind of putting a lot of pressure on him as fans. And I feel like hopefully during the season he kind of settles down. He gets used to obviously being at a club like Tottenham and slowly kind of, you know what I mean, beds in, and then mistakes kind of leave him, type of thing like that. But moving on, let's talk about the Bayern game. Obviously, you know, we lost 3-2. It wasn't the best performance from Tottenham. We still seeing some of them naive mistakes we make with obviously playing out from the back. That was a big issue, and also set pieces. Do you feel there's been a change with this preseason compared to last season, or do you think there's still them issues that we were having last season are still there, and we're kind of still in that position of, you know what I mean, kind of them issues there?
Well, we went into the preseason last season, Ange's first season, where we were playing teams like Barcelona. We played West Ham. We were getting like 28 attempts on goal. The football was, because of what the crap we'd had previously, it looked magnificent. It was like, oh my God, look at this football. Look how great it is. Look how beautiful it is. Ange ball. It hasn't been that way this season, has it? And the worrying thing is it's the same players, majority-wise, that were here last season. It wasn't the best of games. It is very, very, very concerning how open we are at the far post. It's like we're social distancing from the far post, and no one's there. It's like there's a force field and you can't go past or anywhere near the fast post in case you get electrocuted or something. It's got to the point where it needs to be addressed. This hasn't been just a pre-season thing. This has been an issue, and we need to resolve it. Now, however Ange decides to do it, he needs to, because if he keeps letting this happen, every team in the Premier League are going to think, oh, if we get a free kick against Tottenham, what, back post. And it could be his downfall. Not that I want it to be. I don't want it. I back Ange. I want Ange to succeed. I want Ange to lead us to glory. But people have realised we have an Achilles heel. And if you don't rectify it, people are going to just keep pounding and pounding and pounding on it and exploiting it, and it could be a big problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, last season, everyone knew the issues within the club, and obviously, you know what I mean, with defensive issues of set pieces and stuff. What I found evident through this preseason, especially more against Bayern, yeah, because you're coming against a proper top team within Bayern, was the playing out from the back. Now, for me, Vicario was extremely shaky playing out from the back.
Yeah.
A lot of the balls he played through into the midfield towards like the Basumas and that, they were suicide balls. They had a player on them. Playing that type of ball, the majority of the time, you're going to lose possession. And now I understand it. If that works, the breaking play is fantastic because you've got a mass space in that midfield section to go on the attack. But majority of that game, it didn't work out. It actually put us under more pressure than it put us out of pressure. And it started feeding off into the wings as well. Like Romero would pass it down into a Porro, or one of the midfielders who pushed on the right side, same on the left. And we seem to struggle to break out of that press. Now, for me, that's another big worry, because last season, the one thing we did very well is break the press. We got out of press very well. Now, against Bayern, who were great, by the way, their pressing was fantastic. Let's not just say it was all Tottenham. Bayern did well in their situation, what they wanted to do. Do you think that when it comes to this type of football, and obviously that playing out from the back and everything, do you think that's an extra worry now, is the fact that against the Bayern, we look so shaky, and not just set pieces that are a worry, but also that style of play of playing out from the back? Because for me, Vicario rarely kicked the ball forward. He always held on to the ball. He always took his time, and he always wanted to make a short pass. For me, sometimes you just got to lump the ball up. I mean, that goal we conceded, it wouldn't have been conceded if he just lumped the ball up, then that danger's averted. What do you make of that situation? And do you think that's going to carry on into the season, or are you hoping Ange just looked and gone, you know what, we need to change?
So where I look at it, if anyone watching this morning has ever been to a game near me, sits near me, or at the Scotland Yard, or watched it on TV, back in the day when we had Hugo Lloris, the final 2-3 years, every time he had the football, I panicked. I absolutely got into a world of panic, and we all know why. His distribution was absolutely shocking. And I never had that last season with Vicario. One of the great things when we first signed him, it was, oh my God, we've got a goalkeeper that can just deal with it. He's done it twice now against Bayern Munich. Obviously, he did it. We said last season he was the first goalie in God knows how long to go a season without making a mistake that led to a goal. And he's done 2 in 2 games, which is worrying. I'm with you. I'm like, you may want to play out for the back, but sometimes the safest option is just lump it out there. I mean, the second goal, which came off Bissouma, and then, it's just ridiculous. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Vicario's concerned me a couple in the games he's played in, actually. I'm sure, listen, he made some incredible saves and he'll be fine. Yeah. But it's another area of worry, isn't it? This playing out from the back, don't get me wrong, under Ange, when we played out from the back and it's worked, it's beautiful to see. It's been really well put together. It's been quick touches, nice little triangles, getting it out, men free. We looked at disarray. And don't get me wrong, like you said, Bayern were pressing brilliantly. But Bayern have only had Vincent Kompany since the summer. And he's implementing, and that's not even Bayern's first team ready to go. So it's a concern. It's a concern, but you iron out the wrinkles in pre-season, ready for the Premier League, and I'm hoping, praying that come next week, we don't see this.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing I want to ask you about that is, do you think, obviously, when we've seen other teams, like when we watched under Poch, Jose, Conte, we had our structure of what the managers wanted, but then it was kind of like in certain aspects of each game, you're allowed to do what you want. Do you think these players at the moment are overly relying on what Ange is asking of them? Like I was saying, with that, Ange is probably telling them, play out from the back as much as possible.
Yep.
But then they're taking that and saying, okay, I'll play out from the back every single time. And for me, personally, when you look at that, you hope not, because other aspects of the pitch, they've been told they're allowed to, express themselves, be free-flowing and stuff. But for me, there's only a couple of players who try and do that. Bissouma's one, albeit, you know what I mean, he makes mistakes and everything, but he's allowed to express himself. Maddison, Sonny. But then you move to the right side, look at Johnson, yeah? He doesn't look like he wants to express himself. He looks like he's over-listening to Ange and over-relying on what Ange has asked. Pape Matasol, for some reason, this pre-season, he looks to seems to overly listen to Ange. Do you think that is something, or do you just think I'm talking absolute waffle?
No. You look at it, and first things first, we have to say he hasn't once had his first full team out there that will be a Premier League team. So a lot of it is to go out there and impress, out there and do it. And you've got to remember, we saw it with the youngsters whenever they came on in the second half. They did it so much easier, but that's because they've played with each other all last season and knew where to be, what to do, where to go. Bissouma, do you remember last season in the 3-3 against Manchester City? And Bissouma made a really big mistake. And Ange even said, that's on me. I tell them to do it. If they do it, come to me, not to him. So it is instructing to do it. They are instructed to do it. But now have they got to the point where they're a little bit nervous in each other and they're either trying to complicate it or even, again, the thought, like you said, should I do it this way and just get it out, or should I do it the Ange way and take the risk? We'll see. But some players, like we were very open in the midfield last season, and this season it has not looked good, apart from when the youngsters have come on. So hopefully, again, we can only say this week in training, hopefully they are nailing everything down, because the warm-ups and the dress rehearsals and the trials and tribulations, they're all over. It's now game time. It is now business. Business is open. Business is going to pick up, and you can't be playing like this every single week.
No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. And hopefully this last game against Bayern has opened Ange's eyes, and we do see defensively we're better, playing out from the back we're better, everything's more structured and more better. We hope, because like you said, it's on now. This is it. There's no going back. There's no nothing. It's make or break.
Yeah,
Either job's on the line or we're going to be a successful season. Who knows? But at the present moment, I'm going to do a Dagul, and we're going to have a half-time team talk. To everyone watching now, I know, I love them. I love them. So to everyone in the chat, thank you ever so much for joining this premiere. We do appreciate it. We understand it's not live, and we know sometimes it can be a bit like, but thank you ever so much. We've had so many people joining these premieres. We are truly thankful for all. Please like and subscribe and comment in the chat on anything we're saying. If you agree, if you disagree, your opinions about everything. We're in the chat. We're there watching, reading, and answering. We love to do it. So, yeah, thank you all so much for doing this, and we appreciate it. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Harry Kane. At the end of the game, obviously, it was nice to see him back. He got an extremely beautiful welcome. Got a little present, him and Dyer. But the reason I'm just talking about Kane is it'll come to that. They got presented with a little gift from the club and everything. The fans were very welcome of him and all that. And he managed to get on the game. You know, he didn't score or anything, but he had a couple of shots. And, you know, and he was very thankful for being there. And one thing that stood out that a lot of people picked up, and there is a video of this, Kane is obviously Bayern's captain. Now, the captain, when you win a trophy, regardless if it's pre-season or otherwise, the captain always holds the trophy. At the end, Kane told numerous people, including, I believe it might have been Kimmich. I think it might have been.
Yeah, it was.
I think Kimmich. And obviously others must have been from the bench and everything, asking Kane to obviously go and hold the trophy. And he blatantly refused. He was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not holding the trophy, blah, blah. What did you feel about that? Because for me personally, you know what I mean? I said on the previous shows that when a player leaves Tottenham, I don't care. I'm not bothered.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of struck a chord with me. I was like, you know what? There's still a part of him there that has so much love and respect for this club that it was like, I'm not doing that. Or I'm adding a caveat to this. Or was it because he didn't want to be completely meaned out, say, showing him holding a pre-season trophy at Tottenham?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So first of all, it was great to see him back.
Yeah.
There's no doubt when the trumpet guy started playing, or when the Spurs go marching in, they went to him. This guy still bleeds blue and white. He may be wearing a red kit. We all know why he left Tottenham, how he left Tottenham, what happened with. So, funny enough, he's the next subject, I believe. So I've got plenty to say when we get to that. Harry Kane came, even if you look at it, the interviews that he had before it, talking about his love for the club and how good it is to be back. And he even said, I shouldn't really be playing, but I only trained yesterday, as in Friday, and there was no way I wasn't coming on the pitch. There was no way I wasn't coming on the pitch because he wanted to say his goodbye. He wanted to come on. The reception he got was magnificent. He almost scored, which just would have been typical. And obviously the one thing I did love as well, that he did do the goodbyes. He walked around the entire stadium like he always did to acknowledge, thank, appreciate and say goodbye. And then obviously the trophy. Now the trophy, I was waiting to say the last bit that you mentioned because I was like, is he going to say it? Is he going to say it? First of all, major respect to him. If I was in that scenario, I point blank would have refused to have lifted a trophy. Bit different if it was the Champions League final and it was Tottenham versus Bayern Munich and it was at White Hart Lane like we've seen before where it's at the home stadium. Then it's a bit different. You know he's going to do it. Or maybe he would. You'd think he would. But this, he weren't going to do it. There was no way. Especially after losing at the Euros and another. If he had lifted that trophy up, the memes would have been all over. It would have, like, honestly, he would have been annihilated or taken the piss out of. And that's just that. But do I think that's what he thought when the trophy came? Hell no. Did he think when he got back to the changing room going, do you know what? That might have actually been a double-edged sword. And I've actually... But yeah, there is no doubt he weren't going to do that. This man loves Tottenham Hotspur still too much. Despite the bitter ending and how it ended, he loves that for it just goes to show the professional he is.
Yeah, totally agree. The one thing I didn't actually like about Kane's walk around, and this is just a personal opinion of mine, is I really truly believed Eric Dyer, regardless of what people think about him and how much dislike they had for the guy, he was with us for a very long time. And like he always loved Tottenham himself and everything. I would like to have seen them both doing it. You know what I mean? I know people might laugh at that, and this is nothing to say that he was great or he was a legend or anything, but he was a part of this club for a long time. And, you know, I thought it would have been nice if both of them walked around the stadium together doing it. I thought that would have been nice, but that's just a personal opinion of mine.
Dave, he was probably told not to just in case he runs up the stands again.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that. We don't trust you to walk around. You might.
No.
Look, Eric Dyer did get a good reception. And I will say I've spoken to many people that went to the game and said, apart from when Kane came on, the goals, the atmosphere, and we were watching it, the atmosphere was shocking. And I don't know why that was. It was a pre-season friendly. It was probably a lot more families and kids there than normal, but it just seems so mute. But the receptions for Kane, the receptions for the players when they came on, like Mikey Moore, Van der Ven, was always good. But that will soon change once the season's up. But yeah, Eric Dyer wasn't allowed because he might have stormed off somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. Right, quickly, before we move on to the next two subjects, I just want to say a special thing that obviously Tottenham posted, which was we had a 101-year-old fan. His name was George Bristow, actually attend yesterday. And I think that's just a lovely thing. I just wanted to point it out. 101 years of being a Spurs fan. How you lasted that long, sir, with this club is amazing in itself. You deserve a medal for that. But yeah, I just wanted to say a big thing for him. You know what I mean? He met some legends. I think it was a half-time, so I just thought that was lovely.
It was. I mean, listen, all clubs do this wonderfully well, and obviously Spurs do it as well. So what we talking? He was 101. He was born in 1923. My God, that guy has seen some glory. Has seen so much glory. And good for him, and many more happy returns of the day.
Yeah, I agree. Right, quickly, I weren't going to say this, but obviously this is not a part of my little itinerary that I have, but Solanke was obviously shown to the fans before the match yesterday, and, you know, we finally got a striker. People are so still completely against it or with it and everything like that. We sat down and spoke, Brian. We're happy with it, so, you know what I mean? Let's see how the season goes and think. But it was nice seeing him actually be shown to the fans before the match.
I actually watched as well this morning. Spurs released a behind-the-scenes 8-minute video thing of his, and it was good to see him. It was good to see how well he was speaking about the club and dom dom dee dom 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 Solanke. I've honestly, Ilana has had a go at me because for the last 48 hours I have been singing that. I woke up this morning and I just started belting it out. She was like, "Will you shut up?" And then I said, okay, Solanke, find out what it means to me. So,
I'm expecting something just to come at your head in a minute.
She's in the other room. I'm loving it. She's not so much.
No, yeah. Right, moving on. Emerson Royale's obviously leaving Tottenham. I think he flown to Milan today to do his medical and all that. Reports are coming out that obviously we're looking for a new right back. And a couple of names have been put up. One, obviously, which is an ex-Spurs player in Kyle Walker-Peters. For me, personally, completely pointless. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand why we're looking for a right back. We have Dragusin who could play there, Archie Gray who could play there, Jed Spence who could play there, and Porro. There's 4 players already on that team who could actually fill that role if any are injured. For me, personally, left back is the main issue, or left centre back, because, again, we're not blessed in that area with players who can play that position. For me personally, don't think Jed Spence can play that position. He looked very out of sorts and stuff. What do you feel about this? And just a quick one, because I want to give you, for the last one, I want to give you at least 5 minutes to go on this one.
Okay, so we may go to 31 or 32 minutes, but we'll have some extra time. We've had half time, we're going to extra time. Scattergun again. We weren't meant to be going for defenders till we sorted out the front line. We need a winger. It was defence was the last thing. We need a midfielder. I do not get it. So do we need homegrown? That's the only reason he comes in. if Kyle Walker-Peters comes in, first of all, what the hell are we doing when you got 4, but it's the homegrown? Marcus Edwards could come in, be the winger. That might cure it, but I want better. I just don't listen. When it comes to the transfers right now, I don't understand what we're doing. Do I think we'll have a new player in before Leicester? And just said it's going to be a big week. I don't know how many times we've heard that. Maybe not from Ange, but I don't think someone's in, or I hope someone's in before Leicester. I doubt it, though.
Yeah, right. So on that point, you weren't meant to mention that, what Ange said, because I was going to bring that up. But anyway.
No, you can bring that up.
Yeah. So as the title suggests, Ange versus Levy, who wins? Obviously, we all know this transfer window hasn't been the best. Unfortunately, we've got some, you know what I mean? We know we needed more than what we got. I personally think Solanke's a good signing. I'm hoping to see him this season, and I hope he does well for us. I'm not going to shoot him down. I give every player a year. Same with Archie Gray. And I'm looking forward to seeing Young Min Hook come in January as a new winger. The Timo loan, unfortunately, was just ridiculous. So for me, the window has been a very mediocre one for what we needed as a club and as a team, and for what Ange needed. Now, obviously, like you mentioned then, Ange in the press conference turned around and said that there will be movement in the rest of the window. For me, it was kind of vague. Is that movement with players out, or is that movement for players in? And that's my worry, because we're still looking to get other players out. We still got Brian Hill, Sergio Reguilon, Lo Celso, and other players there that possibly could go out on loan or what have you. Do you think... So I'm going to give you a hard question now, obviously, you know what I mean? And try not to buy. With the situation that we're in at now, do you think Ange is going to get what he needs from Levy and win this transfer window with Levy by the end of the window? Or do you think Levy's going to do what he's done to every single manager that seems to have been under his reign, and once again leave him short in areas that everyone and their grand knows we need filling? So, Mr. Dagul, the mic is yours.
Well, first of all, I'll say, when you said I wasn't meant to say that, the great thing we do with Morning Brews is I don't know what you're going to say. We do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So as close as we are, and on the same wavelength, I'm not telepathic. So do forgive my stupidity there. The question was, will Ange win this transfer window, or will Daniel Levy screw another manager and leave us gaping wide open in certain positions? Let me have a real big ponder. Let me just demise and weigh up a few things, and let me think about.
Take your time. No rush here.
Manager's gone by. Yeah, he's going to be screwed. He's going to be screwed once again. I've seen some silly stats that came out today that Sky Bet or whatever have done with. We have 40% of the fans that actually think we're going to finish above Arsenal. Now, obviously, these votes could be non-Spurs fans or whatever it could be. But people thinking we're going to finish above Arsenal means we're going to win the league. If you think about it that way, because I see Arsenal being Manchester City's main threat. And they say if you beat the second favourite, you check. So I think some players will come in. Don't get me wrong. I think maybe the positions we need them in. I think one of them will be a position we don't need in. But once again, it won't be the quality. It will be squad filler or squad rotation. It won't be, bam, there's an Eze, there's a Chiesa, there's players of that upper echelons that can actually make this football club stronger on the pitch. Not just, okay, we've got another midfielder, we've got another winger. We need to go out and get the elite of the elite. And then if, and I do mean if this time, if we sign another player that was not at a Euros or Copa America, I am going to be very, in my calm persona, be absolutely raging, because this is just not on now. What I think is getting to me as well, and I think it's getting to a lot of Spurs fans as well, and I'm not speaking on behalf of Spurs fans, I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, it's the way that certain teams are getting deals done, bang, bang, bang. Like we saw with Todibo. Now, they put in a bid last month, West Ham. Didn't come. I think it was Wednesday night or Thursday night, whatever. We were just literally chilling. They want Todibo. They got Todibo. He's coming for a medical. You look at Neto. Quiet. Obviously, keeping it under the radar. Out of the blue, they got Neto. They want Neto. They wanted Neto. They bid for Neto. They got Neto. Regardless of his injuries, Liverpool are going to start moving for Zubimendi. Arsenal have brought another one in. Calafiori took time, granted, but their defence was the best in the league last season anyway. I don't know why it's over there, but so be it. Getting back to Spurs, it is just the same old things happening again. The director of football, transfer people, been given the targets by their manager, being told that things are going to be different. And here we are. They're not. And it's sad because I want Ange to succeed. I want Ange. He has his philosophy to play football. He could have had weeks and weeks to do that. Now he's going to have to try and train them throughout the season. They have to get on board quickly. They need to get up to his fitness levels quickly. And if you look at it, the question you ask who's winning at the moment, or Ange versus Levy.
Yeah.
Levy's winning because he's not bringing in Listen, one thing I will say before I'm going here, I can't have a go at him for not spending.
No, because this is not what this is about.
We spend the 65 million. So should it have been done sooner? Everything? Yes. But with us not getting what the manager needs to play his style of football, and he has been back more than most managers, I will say as well, it doesn't matter if you spend more money, you could have spent less by getting better quality in. The wage bill has been chopped big time. So you could have brought in players of a better standard that wouldn't impact the wage bill, would make it a higher earner will come in. Whether other players will then say, well, wait a minute, I've been here for Sonny being one of them. Here we go again. I keep getting told things are going to be different. Things are going to change. We're doing things differently. We're not doing anything differently. Everything's the same. Everything's the same. Nothing's changed. We've just spent 65 million to become our record signing, which is slightly a change. But here we go into the season, under-equipped, squad not fully together. And it's frustrating. And I've got a feeling the next few weeks are either going to be really, really good, or at least we tried FC, just couldn't get it done. Yeah, we tried, but the bigger boys kept like the excuses. And then if the excuses come in, then we've got problems. And I will become a lot more vocal, but in the correct way.
Yeah, I agree. So one last thing, obviously we're a bit over time, so enjoy it. I hope everyone in comments is loving this Morning Brews. And I just got to ask Dagul one more thing. Andrew's comment when we signed Solanke is he was extremely happy. To him, Solanke was the player he really wanted. For me, he used them words on Solanke, but he didn't use them words for Archie Gray or Youngmin Hook, which kind of tells me that they weren't necessarily players he actually was searching for. In that sense, if I've missed anything and he has said this, I apologize to everyone in the chat and ignore everything I'm about to say. What do you make of that? The fact that when he signed Solanke, he seemed very enthusiastic about it. He's like, I wanted this player. He was the one I wanted. It just took a bit too long to get him in due to certain... We won't go into the aspects of why it took too long. Who knows? It could be anything. But what do you make of that? Do you think Solanke's been the only player he genuinely actually wanted so far?
I think from what I've been told, Archie Gray was someone wanted. From what I've been told... when the coaches sat down, they all gave 3 players' names that they think would suit whatever their particular strength is in coaching. And one of Archie Gray's name was mentioned on more than one occasion. So I think Archie Gray may not have been Ange's personal I want him, but I think after being advised by whatever and why it would suit the play, and obviously he's green lighted it because he's got him. I don't know. What was the other player we were talking about?
Youngmin Hook.
Oh, Youngmin Hook, listen, you and I did that video saying why aren't we attacking it, and then they did attack it. That I haven't got a clue. That is another one that came out of the blue. But I think Archie Gray he would have wanted. But Solanke, so you got to say, Solanke, do I believe that it was his man? Yes. Yes. Do I believe he wanted him before the Euros? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now he's got it. He's not going to go, well, yeah, he was my man, wanted him early, but or he wasn't going to say, no, it was my third choice. We couldn't get our targets, so we've gone with him. I think it's the whole delay in getting it done that is why people are saying it's not Ange's first choice. And they're right. They're right to say, do you know what, we could have got him all along. Why didn't we? And then I look at it and say, well, the reason we didn't is because someone, just some random person, I think, I'm talking about the guy that sits on the halfway line in the West Stand and controls every single bloody thing this football club does. Yeah. I think he would have tried to negotiate and get everything down rather than going out and going, right, that's my manager's number one pick over Gallagher or with Gallagher. Thank God he's not there, Ryan. So yeah, he had to nail him. He had to go and nail him. And I think it could have been done earlier, but I think someone wanted to haggle rather than... And there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope everyone in comments has enjoyed this Morning Brews. Please like, comment, and share. We do appreciate it. It's helping this channel massively. We're currently at 8,685 subscribers, which is insane. It's absolutely incredible. The channel is bouncing. Everyone in this community that we're created here are absolutely incredible. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. We love doing this, and we're going to keep doing this. The season's upon us. We're going to be smashing out content on the daily, and hopefully you guys love it even more. So I'm going to give my little going away words, and that is Doma Ni Min. Brian, sir.
Yeah, I'm just to very quickly add to you saying like we're aiming to get to 9,000 or 10,000 by the end of the year. 9,000 is the nearest target we're going for now. Thanks to you, great guys, and even the response to the fan shows, popping questions in the comments and everything. It's just been wonderful. We aim to keep growing. I will be back with Evening Brews. I can't even remember who I've got as a guest, so I best start doing that. But I will be back 6 p.m. tonight. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Levy out.